Make sure that this is working. Oh my gosh. So everybody over on YouTube, I am using the StreamYard software this time instead of my Zoom, just trying to see if it'll work a little bit better. What I noticed with the Zoom is that I had to like jump right in and I had to start a brand new live every time I did. Whereas with StreamYard, I was able to set things up ahead of time. Thank goodness. Welcome everybody to Wednesday Whip Knockout. I am thrilled to have you here. Please make sure that you grab your 3 projects that you're going to work on today. If you are new here, let me first make sure that everything is running smooth. If you're over in the on YouTube, please let me know if you're seeing everything okay. Please kind of give me the heads up that everything is good. I just want to make sure that we are running smoothly. Yes, grab 3 projects at 2:05. So in 4 minutes, we're going to jump right into our first 20-minute session. I changed my setup a little bit here. I was noticing that with my itty bitty little iPad mini screen that, I just didn't know where to place it in a good spot behind me. So that way you could see the time at least a little bit better. So I got this big screen behind me, which will hopefully give you just like a little bit. I'll still tell you the time, so like you don't have to worry about it. But if you're brand new to Wednesday Whip Knockout, please say I'm new here or first time in the comments. It means a lot. I find that every week we're growing, more people are stumbling across this live. This is a very structured live. It has a lot of purpose. There's an actual agenda that we're following along with this live. So we start off by just kind of gathering our projects, right? The whole point of this live is to work on whips, work on, if you don't know what whip means, it's work in progress or works in progress. So we're just slowly chiseling away at our massive chaos of things that we've started and haven't finished. I'm helping to give you that structured time to hopefully, fingers crossed, help you to get that thing knocked off your plate so that way you can make room for new projects, new yarn that you want to buy, new inspirations, and just kind of keep the Crojo going. Now, today I am excited. I reached out to people on Instagram and I did a little question thing, where you on the stories, you can like ask the little question bubble in there. And I asked everybody if they had a question they would like me to address. That way I could, prep, be a little like, have some stuff front loaded before we dive right in. And I have some great questions that I'm excited to share with you and answer, but I am here live. So if you have a question that you would like me to answer, please, by all means, use this time, ask in the comments. I have both TikTok and YouTube up right now because I want to just spread the love and share this opportunity to help as many people as I possibly can. It is 2:04. I'm now going to be watching the clock like a hawk for the replay. So anybody who watches the replay, they just know automatically I can just fast forward right in 5 minutes and I can just jump right in to begin. Like I said, I'm going to watch this like a hawk because I want to push that button right as it turns. But I am very much checking out the chat. So if you could say hi, it means the world. I would love to engage and answer questions. Just kind of like welcome you because it's such a big deal that you're here in general. If you are on TikTok, I do have a goal. I am trying to see how many flowers that I can get, how many of those little like diamondy things, I'm learning, I'm new, and I'm just trying to establish and get even better and better over here on YouTube or on TikTok because I care about you guys and I want to show you some love. You guys are amazing. Oh, check that out. Love you guys. And it is now 2:05. Boom. So background right here. And I guess little sound effects. That's neat. That's cool. I'm still new. So I'm like, there's gonna be some things that happen that I'm not used to. Those of you over here on YouTube, hello. Hi. I actually do have a charity going on today. I tied in a charity again. Every now and then on YouTube, I can do this. TikTok, I can't. YouTube has this ability where I can attach a fundraiser to the live stream, which is really neat. Sometimes I will add the or a fundraiser to the live because I love to lift people up. I love to support charities. I love to give back to the community that tries so hard to just love on people and give their volunteer hours, their free time to try to make this world a better place. Today's charity is St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I was looking through the options that I had available on YouTube, and that one I could instantly connect with Crochet, with what we do, have it make a little sense on, connecting with us and our hobby, our craft. If you are not sure what I'm talking about, it has to do with the fiber arts, yarn, crochet, knitting, really anything you can do with yarn. I'm not going to exclude anybody. It's a very welcoming, all-inclusive location here. But St. Jude's Children's Hospital, it gets attention as it should because of how incredible it is. I wanted to have a little more research that I could share with you. But all in all, the gist is their whole mission is to help try to, I'd say cure cancer, but at least try to save as many children's lives as possible who have cancer. And they don't just focus on the child who has cancer, but they focus on the whole family by trying to provide them with all of the resources financially that they possibly can. So that way the family can just focus on loving their child who is going through this process. And when you are part of that family, your brain just really isn't anywhere else anyway, right? You may physically be at work, but mentally not. We have 17 minutes and 30 seconds left of session number 1. So I love that they focus so much on the family. I think that's incredible. So they're just the featured charity today. If you would love to donate and lift up St. Jude, you have the ability right next on YouTube, right next to the comment section where you type in a little something. There is a button that you can push right next to it. It's usually a $sign that would give you the opportunity to do a super chat or super sticker over here. But today, if you click on it, it's to help support St. Jude Children's Hospital. So yay, we're doing that. But what that does mean for all my YouTube people is if you have a question that you need an answer right now, that super chat, super sticker thing is disabled today because it's a fundraiser. If you really need to get a hold of me, please type in all caps, starting with a couple question marks. You guys over on TikTok, you the same. Anybody, even if you are not necessarily in a rush, if you have a question, start your question with a couple question marks. It helps my ADHD brain as I'm quickly scrolling through everything so I can make sure that I get to your question and I can answer it. I will give you guys first dibs. I'll be looking at your questions first because you're here, you're present, and I want to give you that answer. And then after I've exhausted all the questions, I will get to the questions that people asked me over on Instagram and some on Facebook as well. All right, 16 minutes left of session number 1. Again, if you are brand new here, what's these sessions? We have 3 20-minute sessions. I don't want you to even look at the screen. This is your time to be productive. I am dedicating an hour and a half with you, and you don't have to be the whole time, but it's funny how quickly this time flies. I'm dedicating this time for you so that way you can try to knock some stuff off your plate, take away some of the stress, the anxiety that these projects are giving us, and make room for some of that new inspirations and new projects that you can begin. So first 20-minute session, begin by having your first project. I want you to hyper focus, tunnel vision on this project. Again, you don't even need to look at the screen. I'm just here honestly for audio entertainment, so that way you can have something to listen to as you are hyper focusing on your project, chiseling it away, knocking it out. Then we'll have a 5-minute transition. Second 20-minute session where we will bring our second project that we're going to give attention to. Then after that, we're going to have a crochet stretch or a stretch session to focus on our body and our physical health, and, you know, kind of give some love to our our body, so that way we can keep doing what we love for longer, and we're not starting to create or accrue those aches and pains that cause problems. And then we will dive into session number 3, and that closes us out, and we're done. It goes so fast. All right, guys, 14 minutes, 23 seconds left. This is super exciting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to begin by jumping in the chat, because you guys are here right now and I want to focus on you and your questions. And you guys, thank you so much for all the love over on TikTok with the roses and the diamonds. You guys are incredible. I love you so much, and it really means a lot. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. Usually it's funny. I've done a few TikTok lives where I'm learning. I'm learning, you know, so I was diving in, like seeing how other people do it, you know, and I noticed that people, it's easy to just kind of like scroll in, scroll out, scroll in, scroll out, scroll out. So if you guys stick around, actually means a lot. So thank you. Oh, yay. Widget got the #1 gifter badge. You're amazing. That is awesome. Cool. And this says, congrats, lit up roses. Oh, thank you so much, Kyra. I think that's, yeah, I want to make sure I say it right, Kyra. Awesome. And again, everyone on TikTok, my goal is to see how many roses, how many diamonds I can get in this live. I'm just curious. So if you want to show some love and donate or give some of those things, thank you so much. Everyone here on YouTube, let me dive into your chat. It's funny. I start with the TikTok chat because don't get a lot of people commenting. I wish I would. Wish they would say something, but not much. So I just kind of like check them out. You good? Cool. Let's come over here. All right. So hello, Dolly. Hi, Linda. Hello, Amelia. Welcome, welcome. So glad to see you. Hi, Bean. Long time. Your name is awesome. I just resonate with it so much. Rosetta. Hi. Hi, Sarah. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, I got lightheaded. I'm a little too on fire right now. Hi, Doxy. Hi, Monica. Welcome, welcome. I want to make sure I said hi. Michaela, you made it in. How exciting. Toya, I just sent your prize that you won last week. I hope you get it I hope you get it soon. Hello, Rachel. Hi, Pam. Prudence, welcome. Okay, so now I'm going to go through questions real quick, see if I got anything. Looking for question marks. Ooh, I love it. Linda asked already the groups, like, what are you guys working on today? I would love to know too. It's very exciting to see what you guys actually focus on, you know, being behind the camera, being a content creator, I guess, you know, I look at the analytics and I see what people search for, the SEO, you know, the search engine optimization, where what are most people kind of putting in that search bar, you know? And I mean, like, it's really kind of like, it's not always 100%, because I did for a while look at that information. I would try to formulate my content around SEO and what people seem to be searching on, and it just did nothing for me. It was a dead end. Got just shy of 11 minutes of session number 1. Billy, hi. I just started crocheting about 1.5 weeks ago. Congratulations. Welcome to the obsession. It's amazing. I hope you have the best time. 1.5 weeks ago, and am beginning my first scarf. I love it. Any advice? Keep it simple. With you just beginning 1.5 weeks ago, keep it super simple. Keep the pattern simple. You're going to be wanting to focus on, that was just bad grammar right there. My bad. You want to focus on getting comfortable with one hand doing one thing, another hand doing another thing, establishing your muscle memory, practicing good habits, because right now is you setting yourself up for the future of so many more incredible projects to come. You want to start with basic stitches, so that way you can learn how to, or where to put the stitch, where to put your crochet hook, some beautiful stitches. Even intermediate advanced crocheters love the half double crochet stitch, hands down. So even if you're a beginner and you're like, man, starting with beginner basic stitches, it seems so boring. Even advanced crocheters love the half double crochet stitch. It's really, really pretty. So whatever pattern you chose, hopefully it's on the simpler end. And then just keep going, keep practicing. It might look a little funky at first, but keep moving forward. Don't let perfectionism stop you, because perfectionism is where you're just going to get frustrated and you're going to give up. Don't give up. Keep at it. You will get it. It's just a lot of practice, and just have fun with it. Have fun with it. Use some yarn that is beautiful and inspires you. Don't use anything too dark, because you want to make sure that you can see everything well. But I hope you have a blast. Please, if you do finish, or when you, I'm not going to say if you, but when you finish your scarf, Billy, post a picture and tag me in it, because I want to see it at Crochet with Tiffany on all the platforms. I love it. You love it already. I'm so excited. I'm thrilled for you. All right, back over here. We have 8 minutes and 25 seconds left of session number 1. Some people use this time for crocheting. Some people use this time for, I've had people color. like color page number 1, just focusing on this page. I've had people do chores. I've had people at work that are like task 1, task 2. This is your 20-minute session. Do with it whatever you want. It's meant to just be structure that keeps you focused, because my ADHD brain, I squirrel moment all the time. Everyone that has been a part of these lives ever, you know it, I squirrel moment all the time. It's me. That's just me. All right. Oh, you guys are amazing. Looking at the chat, I get FOMO because I see all the people just showing so much love. Oh, Michaela, I love that you're excited that St. Jude is my featured charity for today, and that it's so close to your heart. It makes me, it's validating, and it makes me so happy that, for choosing what I chose, because I try to pick well. I try to have some reason behind it, and I'm glad that you're excited about that. Those of you over on TikTok, again, the whole purpose of this live, because I know a lot of you are in and out. It's focused, guys. We're working on projects today. We're knocking out our to-do list, clearing things off of our plate. Ooh, Heidi's coming back from Nebraska. I love it. Hi, Heidi. Wow, yep. Got my Denmark. I got people all around the world, which makes it so, I love this, guys. Being a part of this platform, being able to create a location for so many people around the world to just kind of get together and hang out. It's so powerful, and it's so cool. Mary, I hope you have a blast. I'm jealous, and even more FOMO. I'm fear of missing out over here of you going to this concert. I hope you have so much fun. I know how excited you are. Oh, Michaela, you do the walk run every year. That's awesome. I need to get out more. I need to get out more. I am a homebody, a strong homebody, and I just kind of hermit. And I'm like, man, I need to get out in the world. Heather, don't even worry about being late. I'm so glad you made it. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for being here. All right, we got 5 minutes and 30 seconds left of session number 1. Keep going, guys. We got 5 strong minutes left. Hyper focus. Look down. Don't even look at the screen. I want you to see how far you can get on this project. All right, I'm getting close to the end here. Amelia Brittany. I'm going to call you that now. You're Amelia Brittany. Have you watched the Mufasa Lion King movie yet? Just finished it before jumping on here. I have not. Please tell me what you thought of it. I have this weird hesitation to watch it. I actually have a hesitation to watch any Disney movie that has been brought back to live action, because I I have those strong connections to what I remember from the originals, right? I fell in love with characters. I fell in love with character voices. I fell in love with character mannerisms. I fell in love with I fell in love with the story of the original, and seeing the reenactment of the ones that I have. It's just hard. It's hard because I can't look at the movie for its awesomeness. Okay, for example, the new Aladdin movie. All right. And so the new Aladdin movie, if I had never ever seen Aladdin ever, then I would think that the new Aladdin movie was amazing, because honestly, I thought Will Smith did a great job. I thought that the characters did great. The actress who played Jasmine was strong, feminist. She was great. I loved the Aladdin character. He was funny. There were multiple aspects where I'm like, that's, if I had never seen anything before, lots of love. Thank you guys so much. Then yeah, I would love it. But because the original Aladdin motion picture movie was one of my favorite movies growing up, that's tough, because it was one of my favorites. Oh my gosh. Robin Williams was one of my favorite actors. Loved him in almost everything that he did. Robin Williams. Honestly, of the many celebrities that have passed away, he was one of maybe two or one of three that I actually cried when I heard he passed away. I actually cried. I had a strong emotional response. That movie, just loved it. Loved everything about that. So because I loved the first one so much, the second one was tainted for me. It's like, I just didn't even stand a chance. So the new Mufasa movie that you were asking me about, yes, it is a prequel to what I would potentially remember, but I'm just like, I have a hard time with it. So let me know what you think. Oh, Michaela, thank you so much for the love. Mwah. It means so much. You're amazing. I love you so much. I got somebody over here that's talking to you, Billy. Brittany says, for the Billy over on TikTok. I love that you guys like cross-talking. That is so fun. She goes, I am an advanced beginner, or I am advanced crocheter. And I still love half double crochet, single crochet, double crochets. So you got this, Billy. So you got some encouragement over there, which is awesome. That's so cool. Thank you so much, Amelia Brittany. Did you see Creative Grandma got soap sacks and soap? I did not. Please let me know a little bit more about that. I did hear Creative Grandma was doing a campaign, which is amazing. The more content creators, the more people that can lift up the SAC Foundation, the soap sack organization, the better, because they are on the smaller side. They try so hard to just get the word out, and the more people that can start campaigns and let others know that you don't have to ship your donations to soap sacks, to the SAC Foundation. You can actually donate locally and just help people in your own backyard. There's just more awareness, especially for people that struggle with shipping. Shipping is expensive. Holy crap. I just shipped out a whole lot of things. Some of you guys over in my crochet club know what I'm talking about. I just shipped out a whole bunch of things. And yes, shipping is expensive. So if you are somebody that struggles financially, and but you still want to crochet to make the world a better place, knowing who you can crochet for around your radius area that you could walk, bus, something. Oh, that is so cool. That can be a big deal, because everybody can make this world a better place. And being able to help your neighbor is beautiful. Oh, Michi, you became the number 2 member on the team. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. I'm learning a lot over here. Okay. Looking for questions. Oh, timer is up. And honestly, I don't even know how long the timer has been up. I apologize. Let's go ahead and just give us 2 minutes. I'm going to give 2 minutes, guys, because I don't even know. I need to check the sound on that. Oops. Not what I wanted. 2 minutes. I'm going to do a 2-minute transition. Usually it's a 5-minute transition because I want people to have time to find a good stopping place in their project. I want you to be able to fold your project up, put it away nice and neatly. Let this be a very relaxing transition from project number 1 to project number 2. No anxiety, no stress. We're just going to find a good stopping place, put it away, grab project number 2, and be ready to go. Now is a great time also to grab something to drink, stay hydrated. If you need to use the restroom, go for it. You can just hop in and join in whenever it works out best for you. But got 1 more minute. So go ahead and grab project number 2 and be ready to go for your second 20-minute session. Want to make sure I don't miss anyone. I think I'm getting close to the end here. Awesome. Doxy says, I watch all Creative Grandma. Creative Grandma is definitely somebody I respect. She is someone that's been around for quite some time. She has found her spot that she can just be really strong in. And I have a lot of respect for her. She's received over 2,500 bars of soap and has now almost 1,000 donated crochet sacks. And she is having a crochet get together on May 7th. That's incredible. Wow. Those numbers are insane. Oh, Michi, I'm so glad this is a great distraction from work. That's my goal. That's what I'm going for. All right. So timer is up, guys. Now I'm going to go ahead and set the second 20-minute timer. Nope, I did it again. I did it again. Whoop. Whoop, whoop. Yep. Save, go. Nope, cancel. Make you big and go. Great. Awesome. I wonder why. I'm just going to have to pay close attention to that because that one doesn't seem to have any musical indicators. So I'm going to have to keep an eye closer on that. M says, when will the temperature blanket April stitch be available? This weekend. I release the following month's crochet stitch the Saturday before that month begins. Now, depending on how the calendar falls, sometimes that gives us a whole week prep time before the next month. Sometimes it gives us a couple days. Sometimes it's the very next day. But that is how it works best for my content schedule, me releasing content videos. Saturdays is my day. And trying to release it the last Saturday. That way it kind of gives us the most awareness of the project. Like, hey guys, like how you doing on this current month? Let's see if you can get caught up, right? And then here's the info for next month. So it's kind of like my big reminder that I try to post at the end of every month to get us ready. So it will be coming out this Saturday. Did you know that the person who plays Aladdin in the cartoon is the same person who plays Steve in Full House? I did not. That's really funny though. That's good trivia right there. Awesome. 18 minutes, 20 seconds. Okay. I'm going to jump into some of the questions that people asked over on Instagram, wanting to make sure that they get some recognition for their questions. Now, I have written a lot of these down to help me out. First question I am going to share. La, la, la. I'm going to kind of do this out of order a little bit. Okay, so Samantha Stewart, one of my hugest supporters, thank you so much for participating in so many different things that I do, asked what is my favorite crochet hook. Now, oh, bye, Michaela. Thank you so much for being here. My favorite crochet hooks to use are likey. I don't even think that's the correct way of saying it. I think there is a different pronunciation, but it is Lykke. These are my absolute favorite, and it's so funny. I just released a social media video on this, but I bear some of my hooks. What I love about these so much is a couple things. One, aesthetics. I love earthy. It's my like love language. I swear, earth tones, earthy. It's what I gravitate towards. It brings me peace of mind. It brings me this Zen calmness. It grounds me. And so anything that is of earth tones is something I just naturally seem to gravitate towards. And this particular hook is in driftwood. And so of course I was just like, I love you so much. And so there's the aesthetic. Okay. Then it's also really smooth, which is awesome. There's a little bit of weight to it. So at the end of the hook is this little black tip that gives it some weight, which is awesome. So, because I need weight to my hooks, which is why I used aluminum for the longest time. And I am somebody that needs a streamline hook. I need it to be solid all the way. It doesn't have a thumb rest, doesn't have a pinch section, which is fine. Not a big deal. Might even help with letting the loop on my crochet hook kind of extend even further. But the feel, the look, the weight, it's all beautiful, and it just speaks to my soul. So there's a couple different, I'm calling it likey crochet hooks that I love because multiple come in different natural earth tones. But that is right now my favorite go-to crochet hook. And it's also a little fancy. I was going through, I was having some strong feelings, guys. I was having some really strong feelings because Furl's crochet hooks, I think, are stunning. And again, Furl's also does the same thing. They have a whole line that is very earthy. They have their woods. They have their enamel. They have so many different types. And I'm so glad that I don't use Furls because I would be financially in trouble. But I can't use them because I do the pencil hold. I've tried to use them, and with their thicker body, it just makes things really awkward for me. I struggle. And so I don't use Furls. But I was like, man, I really want a beautiful crochet hook. I want something that, is kind of bougie, something that's fancy, and something that, makes me excited to use it. And when I found the likey, it was like, that's it. So yeah, those are hands down my favorite crochet hooks that I'm using right now. There you go. And guess what? There is no affiliate link. It doesn't exist. So it's not like, you just didn't put one up here. No, it just doesn't exist. So right now you can only find these type of crochet hooks in specialty yarn shops, some on Amazon. I guess I could have done Amazon. There you go. Like Amazon. But they're just primarily sold in specialty yarn shops. So anyways, there you go. Doxy says, you're using the new Furls right now. Oh, jealous. Enjoy them for me, please. Enjoy them. All right. Okay. Real quick, we got 13. Oh my gosh, the time is going so fast. It always does. We got 13 minutes and 20 seconds left of session number 2. Please hyper focus. Look down at your project again. The whole point of this live, it's a very structured live. We are here to chisel away and try to get a little bit further along in our current WIPs, works in progress, crochet projects, trying to get them closer to being knocked out. So that way we can shrink our stress, shrink our anxiety, and make room for new inspirations and new yarn and things that we love. The next question that I got over here is actually on a blog post. So if you didn't know, guys, on my website, crochetwithtiffany.com, I have blog posts, and I am actually excited to have more blog posts being posted. I got ideas. I've got some awesome ideas. Some content just needs more information. And sometimes making the video is great, but having it in written form can be something that you can reference, right? So I'm playing with that concept, and I'm enjoying making these blog posts. So if you are someone who would be interested in reading my blog posts and getting this information, please go to my website, crochetwithtiffany.com, and sign up under the email list, create one of those free account things on there where you become a subscriber to my websites and then opt in for the emails, and they'll just come to you. And I hope you enjoy them. I'm having a lot of fun with them and the topics and the content. This particular post was in regards to yarn. I was talking about, again, the video I just recently released on YouTube was all about the best yarns to use for spring, warmer temperatures, or when you're dealing with Mother Nature's bipolar, like I want to be cold one day, I want to be hot the next day. I want the sun to be out one day, I want it to rain the next day. She has the right to do whatever she wants to do, but man, it makes things hard to match up with, right? And so I was talking about yarn, and Jan Coker responded to the blog post, and she was asking, she was wondering if I had ever mixed yarns within the same blanket project, meaning using a DK yarn for the inner body of the project and an Aran yarn for the border. If you don't know what these terms mean, then, well, Amelia, what are you doing over here? Like, holy cow. Like, I'm seeing a whole lot of things happen in the chat. Like, dude. Like, okay. If you're new and don't know what DK stands for, or Aran, these are generally terms that you hear a lot in the UK. DK stands for double knit, which is essentially just a size 3 weight yarn, okay, over here in the US. Aran is a size 4 weight yarn. And so another translation of her question is, have you ever made a blanket that is a size 3 weight in this main body and a size 4 weight for the border? Now, yes, I have done something like this before. When you focus on, not even focus, when you're mixing different yarn sizes together, it can be done. It absolutely can be done, but you have to focus on your tension, because you got to understand that a size 3 weight yarn is significantly thinner than a size 4 weight yarn, meaning the size 4 weight yarn takes up more room. It needs a little bit more elbow space. A size 3 weight yarn doesn't. So it's going to want to be closer together with each other, kind of like cling to each other, like, we don't need so much elbow room, get over here, like, and so you have to accommodate for this by adjusting your tension. If you're somebody who struggles with adjusting your tension, there are tricks to help with that by using different crochet hooks. You could go up or down a crochet hook size to help you with your tension. We got 8 minutes and 40 seconds left of session number 1. Please stick around, because after session number 2, we're in session number 2. We have 8 minutes, 30 seconds left. Please stick around, because after this session, we are going to be doing a stretch to help our bodies and keep us healthy. Everybody over on TikTok, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I know that people shift through TikTok lives pretty quickly. I have a goal, and I'm trying to see how many roses or diamonds that I can get in this live. So if you can help me out, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. means the world. Love you. Okay. So yes, short answer to the question, can this, or have I ever done it? Yes. Can it be done? Yes. You can use a thicker or a thinner yarn on the inner body of the project and a thicker yarn for the border. Just what's going to happen is, because the stitches on the inner body are going to be smaller, they're going to be tighter. That means when you're working the border, you may not place a stitch in the side of every row. You're going to want to pause a lot. You're going to want to set your project down and see if it's laying flat. It may not be skipping every other row. It may be you can make 5 stitches and you got to skip the 6th, or a stitch in 5 rows and you have to skip the 6th row, or stitch top, bottom rows on the side. You have to be more mindful of, if you're going to do that, you have to control your tension, is what I'm getting across. So yeah, that is just, yeah, that's the short answer for that question. I appreciate you asking that, Jan. About 6 minutes and 40 seconds left. Next question is from Facebook, Tamra. She asked, she said, when working the almond stitch, my slip stitch is too tight to crochet into the next row. Is there a single stitch with half double crochet maybe that I could substitute in? I need modifications. Now, at first, I needed a reminder. There are so many different names for stitches, guys. So many. And so I looked it up and I realized, oh my gosh. So the stitch that I used for square number 2 of the 2024 sampler blanket crochet along project, I called it the plowing seeds. This is the almond stitch. So it's the one that has that cool texture in there. See everyone over there. So she's saying that the slip stitch, she's having a hard time getting her crochet hook into that, so that way she can work stitches in the following row. Unfortunately, Tamara, the slip stitch is vital. It's extremely important, because we want the slip stitch so we can make that row really thin. So that way we can create that shape that we're going for. Right, see right there. So if you are someone struggling with getting your crochet hook into those slip stitches, this sounds like it is purely a stitch tension issue where your stitches are just too tight. You're going to want to focus, practice loosening up your stitch tension. That's all you can really do here. If you're going to work this stitch, then that's what you got to do. You're going to have to loosen your stitch tension some way, somehow. And the best way that you can do that is, 1, go up a crochet hook size or 2. So if the pattern is calling for you to use a G6 4mm crochet hook, I'd go up to even an I9 5.5mm crochet hook. 4 minutes. I was like, oh crap. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left of session number 2. If you are being asked to use a size H8 5mm crochet hook, I might even go up to an I or even a J. A J, a 6mm crochet hook. Anything to help you to loosen up your stitches. Even using yarn that's thicker will help. Anything to make that stitch bigger, right? Either crochet hook size, yarn size, make that stitch bigger, because by replacing that slip stitch with a single crochet, you're now going to make more space in between these 2 bodies. There's going to be more space there, and it's going to change the look. And so you don't want to do that. If you're really just struggling with the almond stitch, you might find that you might need to find another pattern to play with for right now. Maybe it's just not time, and that's okay. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with realizing that a stitch is just giving you trouble, you're not having any fun with it, it's frustrating, you're just not there. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can always come back to it. Always come back to it after you've really rehearsed, practiced your stitch tension, learned how to like control your stitch tension to loosen up a little bit. All things that just come with lots and lots of practice and doing the thing, doing the dang thing. So there is no modification that you can do other than changing your crochet hook or the yarn. I hope that helps. Right, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Awesome. You're putting projects in timeout. Oh, that's so funny, Brittany. All right, so next question is from Instagram. Silva Butterworth, which I think is such an awesome name. She asked, why are there patterns that say the turning chain does not count, then spaces at the end? Sometimes when I'm asked a question, I need more context. I need an example or something. Hi, Sarah. Something to help me understand, the context of what the question is saying. So why are there, so I'm just going to go off of what I'm guessing this question could possibly be asking. Why are there patterns that say the turning chain does not count and then spaces at the end? That could potentially mean, I don't know what the spaces at the end part means. I don't know what the spaces at the end part, that's the part that's throwing me off. Usually the turning chain, if it says that it does not count as a stitch, then it's just meaning we needed to establish getting our crochet hook level with the next row. So that way, when we start making our stitches, the first stitch isn't like sloping upward to get there. We have established the roof. We've established the roof of that row so that way we can keep working a consistent top of that particular row. For example, chaining 2 would get us to a good half double crochet size. Some people say chain 3. That's personal preference. 20 seconds. Okay, I want to focus here because this timer not giving me any indicators is throwing me off. If there's ever a space at the end, usually the chaining then represents a stitch. That's what's throwing me off, because then the chain would be representing a stitch and taking that first stitch spot, right? So Silva on Instagram, love the question, but just need a little more context. All right, timer is up. What I'm going to do now is, because hopefully for session number 2, you were working on a project. Fingers crossed. Hopefully you were. And you have to figure that out. Figure it out. Okay, so 2 minutes. Save, grow, go. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes to find a good pausing, stopping spot for your second project. So that way you can get to that spot, the end of the row, great place to pause, fold up your project nice and neatly, put it away. And then, because we've reached the transition between session number 2 and 3, we're going to do a crochet or stretch. This is vital. It's very important because we've just been sitting for 50 minutes. So if nothing else, please just stand up. That's it. Just stand. Just stand. Just stand up. Ugh. And I'm going to adjust cameras. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds. So if you are still kind of trying to find the end of that row, you're good. You're fine. If you're somebody who is done, then please just stand up. Do me a favor and don't just watch me. I know that there's some people out there who are like, no, I'm not gonna get up. What's she talking about? I'm not getting up. And you're just watching, and it's like, okay, make this. I know you're like, what's happening right now? I'm trying to adjust you. There we go. Okay, 40 seconds. Oh, awesome. Giving those people last 37 seconds to find that good pausing, stopping spot to get their project put away. For this stretch session, again, we've just been sitting for 50 minutes. If you've been here with me this whole time, 5-minute intro, 2 20-minute sessions. We're going to guesstimate it was a 5-minute transition between 1 and 2 because I realized that there was no timer indicator on the alarm. And so that's 50 minutes. 8, 7. Oh, I'll figure it out. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So the stance, when we're sitting and we're crafting, usually we're taking on like this with like it's a C curve. We're craning our neck, affecting our lower back, and we're doing a lot of forward motion because we're crocheting. So that means our back, our upper back is usually stretched. Our chest is usually all coming in. So all these motions that we're doing, if we don't stretch, if we don't take our body and move it in the opposite direction, then it's going to start creating problems. It's going to start accruing those little aches and pains, which at first are just annoying, but eventually they grow, and eventually they start to become problems that can eventually take us out of commission, and then we can't even do the things we love to do anymore, which sucks. And there's such sad stories. So I have right here, I've written them down because I wanted to be prepared and ready to go. All right, so the stretches that we're going to work on today, I do 5 stretches. If you cannot do these stretches, then don't. I am not a physical therapist. I am not a doctor. I am a crafter who cares about you, loves you, and just wants to stretch out our bodies with you. Okay, so the first stretch is going to be our wrists or hands. So I call this the flash, but the example I have here is just a fist to fan. And when we are extending our hands, to start with fists and then extend our fingers. And when we extend it, I want you to like actually have your hands be as like open as you possibly can make it. Okay, not just like don't lazy this out. All right, I do this often when I've crocheted for a long time and my hands start to feel like they're cramping. So just like fist open. Do about 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. Don't have to do a lot. Just kind of like get your hands in the motion. Okay, shoulders and upper back. So I want to do a motion where we are opening up our chest. Because like I mentioned, we were just doing a lot of motions where we were in. This is all kind of closed. We want to open it. So it's called squeezing the shoulder blades. So in between right here. So just kind of like taking our elbows and then forward. Like, I'm trying really hard to like do this here. So forward and then elbows. Try to get your shoulder blades to pinch. Again, this is going to open up our chest so that way, you know, we're helping our body. Do about 5 of those. So 3, it's like a row. 4, last one. And 5. Wow, I feel it more on the shoulder blades than anything, which makes sense because they were just open that whole time that I was crocheting. And by bringing them back, yeah, that's going to give that some serious relief. Ooh, felt that. Let me know if you guys feel any of these. Okay, next is going to be our neck. Love stretches for the neck because our neck is often craned down to the project, especially if you don't have some kind of support to prop your arms up, helping you to keep your neck straight and level with your visual your project. Right. So yeses and nos. We're going to start with 5 yeses, and then we're going to go to 5 nos. So yeses, we're going to start with our chin to our chest, and then we're going to move our head all the way back. There's 1 and 2, 3, 4, last one, 5, and center. Now we're going to do nose. Fly. Okay, with nose, we're going to keep our neck straight. We're going to face or have our face go to the right as far as you can go, and then to the left as far as you can go. That's 1. Right, left. There's 2. Right, left. There's 3. Right, left. There's 4. We're doing neck stretches. Right and left. There's 5. We're stretching it out. To those of you who are just finding us for the first time, we're crocheters. We've been crocheting for 50 minutes, and we're stretching our bodies so we can stay healthy and avoid aches and pains that accrue. All right, next stretch is knee to chest. We haven't done this one yet. Again, to give a little bit of release the tension in our lower back. Again, if you cannot do this, substitute something else in. It's fine. You can either be against a wall for stability if you need to, but just take one knee and bring it up and just kind of hold it for 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then gently let it down. And other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'm trying to do standing ones because we were just sitting for 50 minutes. There are a lot of different really good lower back stretches that you can do if you're laying on the ground. But again, I'm not going to lay on the ground. I'd have to adjust all the cameras and it'd look really awkward and weird, and I'm just not going to do that. But so I tried to find some good ones for stretching, and I hope that was different. Haven't done that one yet during our stretches. I try to do different stretches every week to keep things interesting. Okay, last stretch that I want to do, and I actually have not done these yet, which made me kind of excited, and it reminded me that, yeah, this is a part of the body that we should focus on, and that's our hip flexors. Because again, we were just sitting, and when anybody that sits for a very long time, you should be stretching your hip flexor, because otherwise it's just going to stay tight. It's going to stay tense, and it's not going to do anything good for you if you don't give it any love. So it's just doing a forward lunge. So I'm just going to go forward lunge, and then the leg that so you can see me. You guys see her on YouTube. You can't see crap. Here we go. There we go. There we go. So forward lunge. Okay, nothing crazy. But I want this part of my leg to, this is the hip flexor that I want to focus on right here. So I'm going to actually show you guys some love too. Here we go. There we go. So this back leg, I'm actually going to turn my foot so it is sideways. Sideways. Okay. So it's going to help to pivot this leg open so we can try to get that hip flexor, and then just kind of lean into the bent knee. Oh my gosh, felt that. Okay. Oh boy. Right. If you need the wall, if you need to hold on to something, it's not an exercise for the thigh. We're not focused on exercising. I'm trying to just open up the hip flexor on this side, because when we sit this long, man, it needs it so bad. Okay, TikTok, I'm still live. Keep me open. Oh, try again. There we go. Makes me do a puzzle piece. It's very interesting. Okay, let's do the other side. So other leg on the front, other leg to the back. Again, turn your foot sideways so that way it helps rotate your leg, and then lean in to the bent leg so that way you really feel the stretch of that inner hip flexor. And then just hold it for like 5 seconds. And that's it. That's it, guys. We're done. The stretches are over. So go ahead and get yourself comfy cozy with project number 3. I am going to go ahead and start the timer for project number 3. So that way you can just dive right in while I adjust the cameras again. So that way you guys can see me while I'm sitting down. And save. Okay. Session number 3 has just begun. This is our last session that we are doing together. So grab that third project, hyper focus, see how far you can get chiseling away at this third project, how close you can get to finishing it up. That's the goal. Again, the whole point of these Wednesday whip knockouts is to help knock out some of the whips that we have, so that way we can clear up our space, reduce our anxiety, reduce the stress of all the projects we have just built up around us that we've accumulated from starting things and not finishing them. This time is dedicated to you working on that project to get it out of here, get it onto its next journey, either giving it to the person that you promised it to, or sending it to a charity, nonprofit organization, donating it, which is beautiful and so awesome. Or, just kind of like, even if it wasn't intended to be something you donated, or it wasn't intended to be something that you would give away, you've now gotten it out of your space. It's now not taking up any real estate on your shelf or in your tote or wherever you're crafting. And you've made some room for something new inspiration that is going to keep you going. And that's going to bring me to my next question. Amelia, if you're asking for a giveaway, no. I'm not doing a giveaway today. I'm going to just do like one a month. There we go. There we go. So turn you. Knew it. I knew that was coming. Knew that was coming. Welcome everybody over on TikTok. I'm so glad that you made it. I have a goal to see how many roses or diamonds that I can get in one live. So if you could show me some love, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Today is a very structured live. We are working on our projects. This is a crochet related channel, though if you knit or cross stitch or color, paint, cook, you're cleaning up your house and you just like the structured 20-minute sections, this is your time to use however is going to benefit you best and make things easier on you. Okay, so I did mention, where are you? Where's this question? Oh, okay. So I mentioned clearing off space, making room for new inspirations, because I've been getting this comment a lot lately, this question, this comment, and I think it needs to be brought up and addressed. On Instagram, Sandra_mommy101, such a cute name. She asked, are there any tips on motivation to get back into crochet? And there's been a lot of people who are just burnt out. A lot of people are losing their crojo right now, or especially this was a really big deal right at the beginning of January, throughout January, because, Christmas and the holidays and all the making. Oh, thank you so much, Mary. I love you. Lots of love. There are a couple different reasons why people lose their crojo. A crojo is just crochet mojo. Crochet mojo. Your interest in crocheting. Oh, bye, Amelia Brittany. Thank you for being here. See you tonight. People lose their crojo when they are not having any fun anymore. I mean, to break it down to its bare bones, the bottom line, people that lose their crojo are people that are not having fun anymore crocheting. And this can be for a couple different reasons. First reason that is really common is people crocheting things that they don't want to crochet, and having to fight through it because they have to finish the project, whether it is a there's a couple different reasons. One, they're somebody who's a vendor. They sell their crochet items. They have run out of certain items, and now they're trying to replenish their inventory, and they're having to make the same thing over and over and over again, and you just get sick of it, but you keep making it because you know it sells well. And that's one way to kill Crojo. A second way to kill Crojo is special orders. Usually we get excited when somebody's willing to pay us to crochet for them. It's like the world is just coming together in the most beautiful way. I'm getting paid to crochet. Like, what? But if the project that you're being asked to make is one that it's just not something that brings you joy, it's not you, it's not something that interests you, whether it is the colors that they asked you to use, maybe the colors are just, you're like, oh, these things are awful, this is ugly, like what are they asking me to do? Like, and that's rough. Or if it's somebody that they wanted a stitch that is either super boring or super complicated, and it's requiring a lot of you, and you're like, man, I don't want to work on this anymore. It could also be a size of something. Oh, guys, that is big deal. I have had multiple people respond to my YouTube videos where I am doing a tutorial for a blanket, and they're like, man, I'm going to make a queen size blanket. I'm going to go for a king size blanket. I'm like, whew, good for you. Like, if it's a stitch that is super repetitive and you're working with one color of yarn, not even a variegated yarn, it's just one color, and the stitch, it just, unless the blanket is something that can put you in a meditative state that you can pick up while watching a show, a movie, and you're not even really thinking about it, it's more of just kind of a fidget thing, that's one thing. But if it's a project that you have to pay attention a little bit and it's that big, that's going to kill your Crojo so fast, because that's so much blanket. It takes so much time. There's not enough variation going on to keep you interested. And then by the time you've lost your interest, you're probably only a third of the way into the project. You have 2/3 left to go. That's a lot of yarn. That's really expensive. That's a lot of time. And you just kind of, like, you check out mentally. Forcing yourself through a project that doesn't bring you joy anymore is what kills your Crojo. Any size, any situation, whether it's selling, special orders, making something that you have to make as a gift, maybe, and just fighting through it. That's what's going to kill your Crojo faster than anything. And unfortunately, people over holidays, they're doing a lot of that, right? They are making things for gifts, or they are vendors at holiday craft shows, or they are, yeah, that's basically it. Like, special orders, they're making something for somebody to give to somebody, like, hey, could you make my mom a blanket? Or, hey, could you make my grandmother a shawl? Or, hey, can you make my kid a stuffed animal? Like, there's lots of situations, a lot of things that come up. So how to combat that, tips, tricks on how to create motivation when you have lost your Crojo. First and foremost, you need to find the spark again, right? You need to find your passion, your love. 11 minutes left of session number 3, and then we're done. Keep going. You got this. Fight through it. Head down. Focus, hyper focus on your project. See how far you can get, guys. Don't lose sight. You got to find your spark in order to get your Crojo back. You got to find your passion, your love, your interest in crochet again. And some ways that you can do that is start small. Whatever it was that took you out of your game, it was most likely you forced to crochet. So you don't want to jump right back into another really big project. that's just going to put you right back in a situation of having to crochet a long period of time before you get that satisfaction. It's actually a proven fact that when you finish a crochet project, there is a hormone, a dopamine release in your bloodstream through your hormones that is like an endorphin. It makes you happy. It gets you excited. You have this feeling of euphoria, excitement. You just get, and maybe you know this feeling. Think of when you finished a project, just that relief, like it's done, like done. Yes, like, oh, look at it. It looks so good. Like you just get this overwhelming, like satisfied feeling. And so a way to help get that crojo back is to get those endorphins flowing. Lots of little projects, lots of little itty bitty soap sacks, washcloths, scarves, beanies, little magnets, maybe little hair clip, hairpins, a bookmark. Keep it itty bitty, keep it small, make it quick wins. Doing a few of these will help get those chemicals, get those hormones, those natural happy feelings going through and getting you excited again. Also, treat yourself to a yarn that gets you excited, something really pretty, get inspired. Find a yarn maybe that isn't just visually pretty with the color, but maybe has a texture that's really pretty that you really enjoy. Have fun, keep it small. That's the big deal to get your crojo back. And then once you start to get your passion, then start looking for inspiration. Okay. Start looking at the pictures again. What were some pinned pictures, saved pictures that you have that you saved because you loved it and you wanted to do it at some point? I mean, for me, I don't know anybody here. I have a love-hate relationship with Pinterest because I have probably 5,000 pins, and there's no way in the world that even if I stopped doing everything I did today and only worked solely on chiseling away everything that I ever pinned on Pinterest, like that was my whole life purpose, was just to see like if I could make everything in my Pinterest boards. There's no way. There is no way I would ever even come close to halfway mark on that thing. So get back to the inspirations, find what makes you happy, but take it slow. Because if you jump right into something big, a wearable, a blanket, you could run the potential of just putting yourself right back into that burnout, loss of crojo mode. Okay. So I think that's really powerful, and I want people to hear that. And I want you guys, I hope that many people hear these tips for when you lose your crojo, because it happens way more than you think to everybody. And there are ways to get it back, especially if you're super passionate and you love what you do. Got 6 minutes and 45 seconds left of session number 3. Let's see what other questions that I got here. All right. So on Instagram, Elliot Makes Stuff. Love the name. That's awesome. Ask the question, is it true that cotton is better than acrylic for making garments? I would say it depends. You could go either way on this. Again, I'm here for you guys here on TikTok and YouTube. If you have questions, I am answering some questions that I got off of Instagram, Facebook, and other platforms right now. But if you have a question, please ask in the chat. Start your question with a couple question marks. That way my ADHD brain will spot it, see it, and be able to catch it so I can answer it. Those of you on TikTok, again, my goal is to see how many roses and diamonds that I can get. So if you could help me out, that would mean the world. I really appreciate it. Those of you over here on YouTube, I don't have super chats or super stickers available, but I am running that fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Hospital. So if you would love to contribute and lift up the fundraiser, lift up this charity, all you have to do is go to where you would leave a comment. Right next to that comment rectangle is a button. You click on that button, and it'll take you right to helping the St. Jude Children's Hospital organization. Okay, so when it comes to what's better, cotton or acrylic yarn when making a garment? First of all, I'd ask you, what are you trying to make, right? Again, there's a lot of variables here. One is not generally better than the other. It depends. If you're going into a hotter temperature season, I would recommend cotton because cotton is breathable. Cotton is also easy to care for. It's generally hypoallergenic, and it can feel softer on your, I mean, there's some beautiful acrylic yarn that feels really soft too. So I want to be careful with which one's softer because they're both pleasant. There's also a lot of different variations of cotton yarn now. I would not use Lily Sugar and Cream or Peaches and Cream for a garment. I personally would not. There are a lot of different other cotton options available that I think are way better suited for garments. I honestly think that Lily Sugar and Cream, Peaches and Cream, those cotton yarns are best suited for utility, such as items for your kitchen or for your home. But garments, some people do it. I think there's better options. 4 minutes left of session number 3. Cotton does get heavy though. I do want to mention that cotton has weight. That's a big deal for one, when you're wearing it, could get heavy. Depending, there's some thinner size 2, size 3 weight cotton yarn that might not be as heavy. So may or may not pertain. Also, because of that weight, it can stretch out the stitches. So depending on which stitch you are actually using with that cotton yarn, just be aware that it can cause the stitches to stretch. So those are some pros and cons to cotton, but it is very durable and easy to care for. Now, acrylic can get warmer. So if it's a cooler time of year, you're getting colder, you're trying to make something to be warm, acrylic would be the better choice. It does have a little more finicky care instructions. Some acrylic says that is machine wash and dryable on the gentle cycle, so be careful of that. Some people think, oh, it says machine wash and dryable, so I'm just going to put it on the regular cycle. Don't do that because what's going to happen is the stitches are going to shrink because the heat of the drying cycle is going to just cause everything, all the moisture to suck out, and the stitches are going to go tight, and it's just going to mess everything up, and it's going to pill, which means that it's going to, the friction of the garment is going to create those little lint balls that show up all over. That's pilling. And so acrylic is known for pilling. 2 minutes, 15 seconds. So you got the care instructions. It can be more lightweight. There are a lot more options. So I would say for Elliot Makes Stuff over on Instagram, cotton and acrylic yarns, one is not necessarily better than the other. There's just situations and variables that can make one a better choice over another, such as temperature outside, care instructions, what you're making, who it's for, and also like utility and weight. Like it's just, there's a couple things that come into play. So I hope that helps with that. Last question I want to answer because people confuse this all the time. On Facebook, Lynette says, what ply and type of yarn do I use to crochet a tote bag? People that are newer with Crocheter seem to confuse this often. I want to mention, guys, if you are somebody who is just curious about yarn, please go on Pinterest or Google a yarn sizing chart or a yarn guide. There are a bunch that I've printed off for free. Yarn 101 on Pinterest or Google, yarn weights, because what you're going to see is people seem to think they refer to ply as if they're talking about weight, and then they get all sorts of messed up. Okay, because if somebody says I'm using a 4-ply yarn, thinking 4 weight yarn, size 4 over here, but they say I'm using a 4-ply yarn, you're actually using a size 1 weight yarn. 4-ply is size 1. Okay. If you're using a 4 weight, that's thicker, that's more of like a 10 to 12 ply yarn. Big difference. Okay. People get messed up. Oh, time is up. People get messed up and they order yarn online that says 4-ply, thinking it's 4 weight. They get this yarn that's super thin and they're like, what the heck? What happened? How did I mess up? Please be very clear on difference between ply and weight. Before I move on, guys, if you are here watching the replay or you were just here for the 3 20-minute sessions so that way you could stay focused on your whips, congratulations. Our Whip Wednesday knockout has completed. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you got good value. I hope that you were able to make some great forward progress. And I hope that you're just that much closer to finishing your whips. Thank you so much for your time and being here. Wrapping up this question, they're asking about the best type of yarn for a tote bag. Go with strength. If your yarn is too thin, too flimsy, doesn't hold structure very well, then one, you'll put a bunch of weight in there and the yarn will just kind of separate and fall apart on you. Or the bag won't hold structure. And I'm sure you guys have seen this before, where tote bags, you put so much weight in them that they end up like almost touching the ground. They just stretch out tremendously. That all comes into play with the fiber of the yarn that you are using. You want to use something that's really strong and to hold its own. So I usually try to use a plant-based. Cotton is very strong. Bamboo yarn is very strong. If you're going to use an acrylic, I double it up. I wouldn't use just one strand. I would use 2, again, trying to make it more dense to give it more strength. And then fiber-wise, so there's acrylic. I talked about acrylic, cotton, and bamboo. There's also people like to use the other plant one. I'm not going to remember the name of it, but plant. Think plant. Okay. And then size yarn. You could really use any size between 2 and 5 at the most, because at 5 your stitches are starting to have the holes in between them, and so it's not gonna. If you don't line it, it's just gonna like not really hold anything inside of it very well. Things are just gonna fall out of it all the time. But technically, you can use any yarn that's a size 2, size 3, size 4, and you're fine. You want your stitches to be tight because, again, structure, you're holding things inside of it. It's for utility. So the tighter or the thicker the yarn, it affects how tight you can make those stitches. So I hope that helps. I hope that had great value. If you learned anything today, please say something in the chat. Please say something in the comments. I like to know that these things brought you value. I hope you had the best time today, guys. Those of you over in my crochet club, I'll see you tonight for our crafters gathering. Have the best day, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday for another Wednesday Whip Knockout. Bye, everybody. And watch this. Now it's going to take me forever to. Bye, guys.